story ain't a fairy tale, or a Disney movie, or a musical. This story doesn't have a perfect ending. My curls don't fall perfectly into a twist out. My thoughts do not fall perfectly from my mouth. My mind ain't always a catalyst for change. I am not always ready for change. I am not always fearless. This story is about some shit I don't want to talk about, and y'all don't actually want to hear, but it's much too common to be avoided. The black girl gets tired of her magic being defined by her strength, acknowledges her depression, stops repressing the trauma, begins to trim it out of herself like removing the wishbone from a chicken, displays her weaknesses like a first-place trophy and an animal in a zoo, gazed upon with scornful smiles, straining to be seen as support. Accountability leads her body to the winner's circle, but the awareness leads her mind to rage. James Baldwin said to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. This poem is not some general story about black rage. This is the story about how the black girl fed her ego until her soul starved. I was 20 years old when I attempted suicide twice. I thought I could jump out of my depression or swallow it down until the poison overtook me. I mean, depression is a chemical imbalance anyway, right? What happens when you mix it with bleach? I expected a fatal chemical reaction, not bearing in mind that I diluted it with milk and yogurt because I was afraid to die. And you can't go into attempting suicide with weak knees, bowed head, doubt. I was in the Banner Behavioral Health Hospital for 6 days. Started off blaming it on a bad acid trip, drug-induced suicide attempt until my parents came to visit me on the 4th day. This was when the trauma started piercing through my skin, blood ran down, it named itself molestation at 7 years old, and not learning how to ride a bike until I was 9, and never learning how to swim because my father did not know how to teach with kindness. And my mother's cramming perfection down my throat, not supporting anything I wanted to do if it was not something she felt she could get in on. My mother said they wouldn't let me leave and I would have to come back to live with her after I'd already been living on my own for 2 years. My father said I had never experienced any real trauma. I told them the story of my sexual abuse from both my female and male cousins and they yelled at me. My mother said the abuse from my girl cousin was nothing because we were so young. She already knew about it and my aunt had beaten my cousin for it when it happened. My father said I was a willing participant with the boy. In that room, I knew I had to stop ignoring my own pain. Start speaking up when I felt emotionally unsafe, so I told them to leave. Unsilencing myself released me from the shame of parental expectations. Opening my mouth when it matters most has saved my life more times than I can count. I carry these stories with me now, after I almost killed myself. Both the protagonist and the villain, and I'm the one who made it out alive.
Please prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Please prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary. This is after a poem by Danez Smith called Shoutout to My Niggas in Mexico. This is titled Ode to My Niggas in Arizona. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love myself the best
when I am not beating my heart senseless while reflecting on my mistakes. Sometimes I forget that healing is not linear, that growth looks different for everyone, that the sun does not disappear simply because the moon is out. When I awake after a moon-filled night, I meditate, stretch my legs across my living room floor and say hello again to the sun because he's back like he never left. And I am reminded that I deserve kindness from myself, that I am capable of showing kindness to others even if I am just learning how to do it right. My holy place is wherever me and my niggas are able to be ourselves. Hope is the thought of safety for my niggas, of unfastening the fear that limits the quality of life for Black and fat and disabled and queer people. A very real and warranted fear created by a system that tells us the bodies we were born in do not deserve joy. A system that punishes us when we choose to seek joy anyway. I just want me and my niggas to be able to go camping alone. To connect with nature and it not always be about a man or a tree or a body of water or the connection to men and trees and bodies of water not always being a warning, a foreboding tale of death. For the last year, I've been grieving the loss of my mother even though she is still alive. And my niggas hold me. They remind me of my strength, however annoyed I am by having to push past my softness in order to survive here. They remind me that I have survived so much, and I think about when I was 20 years old and did not want to survive, and when I was 16 and did not want to survive, and when I was 6 and people thought I wouldn't survive. I'm the one who made it out alive after I almost killed me, after grief almost killed me, after a virus almost killed me, after violence almost killed me, after rejection almost killed me, after reflection almost killed me. I'm the one who made it out alive. So I hold myself and know that if I am alive for nothing more than this holding and no one else but myself, it is worth being alive for the time I have been afforded here by the universe. And I'm gonna make it count every time I see my niggas. Me and my niggas embody the entire universe. Worlds of knowing be lodged between our teeth, piercing our gums, forcing their way off of our lips because we just gotta pass around this free game. Me and my niggas want each other to succeed. Me and my niggas talk shit to each other, roast ashy knees and white ancestry we never asked for, discuss the true and uncomfortable things that ultimately stretch us into being our most authentic selves. Me and my niggas want to love each other as our most authentic selves. This is not an ode to those who pride themselves on being racially ambiguous, or those who love to worship ancestors who do not belong to them, who call themselves Phoenix natives as if them and their ancestors are not colonizers of this Hohokam, Yuma, Akmel Odom, Yavapai land. Me and my niggas understand we are not of this land, but we here, tending to this land like it's our own, fighting to be proud Black Arizonans and queer folks and others. I was born and raised in South Phoenix. Black and poor and small, but also Black and femme and fierce, a fire sign. And I think about how intentional the universe was when they wrote my story, knew that my reincarnation was imminent. And God help you if you are a phoenix, and you dare to rise up from the ash. The legend of the phoenix states that when it feels its end approaching, it builds a nest of the finest aromatic woods, sets it on fire, and allows itself to be consumed by flames. When I turned 18 and a half, I ran away from my mother's home, from the inferno of trauma, crimson and copper scorching my insides. When I turned 23 and a half, I discovered 2 community gardens were being cultivated down the street and around the corner from where I ran away from. When I went to volunteer, I felt exactly the same and completely different. The soil knew me as though I had risen from it because I had buried my inner child in the MLK Jr. and PL Julian playgrounds, underneath the broken down Cadillacs in my daddy's backyard on 25th and Corona. My body left, but my soul stayed on the south side knowing I would return to the soil one day. Me and my niggas be all the sacred in the ground. Be the phoenix ash, snow bunnies dust from their shoes on their way back to wherever the fuck we never asked them to leave from. I am a child of the Valley of the Sun, desert, place of worship. The phoenix worships for 500 years at a time and only takes 3 days to rise again. Thank you.
So the first question, going through your work, I was thinking a lot about storytelling and the use of time in your work, alternating between the past, present, future, which all seem to overlap. How does time work for you? What does it feel like, look like, etc.?
I mean, I'm like currently decolonizing my idea of time, just because like working at 9 to 5 and then like quitting and like trying to be a fucking entrepreneur, which is like, Capitalism has hit me hard. Yeah, I'm kind of late to things and like, I don't know. But when it comes to my use of time in my like writing, I would say I'm like constantly trying to reflect on things in order to heal. Shout out to therapy, because I had to go back. But yeah, and then bring that into the present and try to see like different patterns.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm processing. No, that was a really, really good answer. Thank you. I think for me, definitely thinking about how it's different in your life and how you said you're trying to undo things, and then also being like, I feel like I'm late, things like that, I think really resonates with a lot of people who are actively creating and also like working to undo those capitalist ideas, because it's hard to do that when you're forced to do it every day. Yes, nice. Moving on to the next question. So this is in reference to your first poem specifically, but it's whatever. So disregarding the liberal co-option of magic, what is magic to you, and what is the intention of redefining it and naming yourself through your work as an ongoing process?
Okay, what was, in this, how do I see magic?
Sure, like what is magic to you?
I think magic can come in lots of different forms. Like if you're talking about like magic with different creatives, I think it's just like you get in a room, you vibe with people. But if you're talking about magic just in general, I think that it's in everything. I think that we take a lot of the mundane things for granted, like nature is like all magic, our bodies are magic, like everything that we do is magic. So like, you know, understanding that we are all conjurers if we believe that to be true, if we understand the magic that we hold within our bodies.
Yes, awesome answer, thank you.
What was the second half of that?
Yes, well, I think you kind of answered it. It was what is the intention of redefining it, because the first one is about redefinition, and then naming yourself through your work as an ongoing process.
Yeah, naming myself I think is intertwined with my magic, I would say, because like I kind of just shut myself down for a long time hiding. So it's really nice to just like be able to be myself and like the things that I like and do the things that I do and like understand that that's who I am and be able to name myself in those ways without thinking about criticism, even though it still comes up, obviously. And then, you know, understanding that I'm a naturally magical being and it's okay to be good at many things and it's okay to like not know shit about some things and like go to people and ask for help and learn.
Thank you. So if we understand magic as part of culture work, even thinking about in ancient and even recent histories of those who perform prayers and spells and rituals before battle, revolution, intentional upheaval, what place does magic have in world building, and how do you see your poems, your cooking, etc. playing a role in that?
I think that magic is vital to world building. I think that it's important, specifically speaking from a cultural position, like it's important to find out those secrets and keep them a secret. You know, not sharing so much with everyone, you know, specifically white colonizers. Just because we've been stripped of so much of like our history and witchcraft, if you want to call it that, but like root work and things like that that are like specific to like Black Americans. I think that it's really important for us to hone back in on that and understand the power that we have as Black Americans, even though we're like trying to fight back to get back to Africa. Well, some of us, like, you know, understanding that like, okay, we were brought here, what do we learn, what do we retain? And I think that it's really important in world building. I think that it's vital. It's vital to keeping the world alive, because once we get back to the magic of like nature and everything, that's how we can really shut shit down.
Yeah, magic is magic because it's sacred. I hear that. Awesome. And then, so, fun question. What are you currently unpacking?
Shit. I mean, y'all heard a little bit of it, but I think right now I'm unpacking how to release close relationships, how to read flags from people. I think that that's what I'm kind of like currently unpacking, and also like the ways that I have used trauma responses in different relationships, specifically in friendships, Instead of like dealing with the trauma or being able to communicate better. I think I'm unpacking that a lot and like trying to go back and be like, yo, I know we haven't talked in like 3 months, I'm sorry. Like this is, I was mad about this, but I didn't say that kind of thing. Because I don't know, I like am a people pleaser sometimes. I'm working through that, but like, yeah, so sometimes it's hard for me to do that. But yeah, that's what I'm unpacking.
Cool. Thank you. Shantia, everybody. Yes, really quick before we go, where can people find more of you and your work and support you?
Oh yeah. Right now, I kind of hate social media, I'm not gonna front, but I am on Instagram at Healer Who's Healing. So it's healer.who's.healing. And yeah, I have some poetry on there. If I get like footage of this performance, it'll be on there. I'm gonna start posting my food flyers on there. I'm a chef. I'm trying to do some private chef work. So, and yeah, that's where you can find me and contact me. All the things.
Awesome. Everyone give it up for Shantia.